Oh, we're here. Lord Cartel 3 episode rule. Look at episode 5.
Episode 5. Yep.
So 5. Maybe Spike can't hear. Came and AK. Loose Free here. Ebony Moonbeam here. I'm loaded up on a Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
And we got a weird one for you. So this is Link Click. So we did came out in 2021. This is Chinese anime. So I'm not gonna say it's different, but just the dialect and the names were kind of a little meshed together, except for obviously some names like Emma. Okay, we got that very Americanized, but then the other ones it was like okay, but it's Isn't it hard to summarize this show?
Very, actually.
I can just do the best I can. I mean, so these two friends have a storefront as a photo 1 hour photo type thing, but
a studio.
It's actually a front for people to bring in photos and get their wishes granted by these two friends who have powers to go into the photo and get key information from said photo and bring it back to the present. So I mean, it's not necessarily a rule, but they made their own rules. They have a 12-hour window. You can't affect what happens in the past. That'll change the future. And basically, you just gotta keep everything the same and be able to get the information they want for the client. That's the base of it. Now, and it gets confusing. So apparently, I didn't see one damn parent in this goddamn show, except the first episode. But they have a landlady, and they're in debt with the landlady because I guess the parents left. I thought they were brothers at first, but they were just friends. So like, all right. So first 3 episodes, I didn't see nobody else with no powers. Apparently, they're the only two with powers. So okay, we're kind of there. So the two friends are Ching and Lu. Ching can actually go into the photo, into the past, and possess the person's body. And Lu kind of guides them through the sequences that he sees from the photo to the present. And they can speak telepathically to when Lu guides Chin through the sequences of just keep going with the flow. I'll tell you when you need to do it. We only got one chance to do it. It's kind of when Doctor Strange went through 14 million possibilities in one. So we're going to go through each episode because it's just the inconsistencies of this show just makes no sense. But Ebony finished it.
Yes.
We have a different opinion than us.
So, well, I watched this way before we decided to watch it. So I watched it when it originally came out. And as I've mentioned before, I'm a binge watcher as well. Like, you really have to not be able to keep my attention or just like crazy unnecessary fan service for me to stop an anime. And because I believe in the 3 episode rule, but certain shows like this where it's kind of like the vibe is kind of like Erased and Durara, where it's a slower, suspenseful build-up pacing, that I'm aware that I'm gonna get some episodes that feel kind of dead compared to other episodes. This show is, I know Cam was talking about how it was kind of slow and stuff, and I was telling him that 3 is really the beginning episode for like 4, 5, and 6. So y'all just stopped right where there's more, and there's a lot more stuff. There's more powers. There's a lot more to this show than you think there is.
I get all that, but
it's good. The show's good.
Lord, well, we got the
So I mean,
do the rule of thumb.
Yeah, for me, I started this show when it came out in 2021. Like I watched the first 2 episodes other did dropped it. I actually like.
And your mic is going out.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh yeah. I was saying. So I watched this show initially in 2021 when it was coming out weekly, and I dropped it because it failed my 3-episode rule then. But not because like the show itself was bad. It's just that every time I turned it on, like I lost attention in it, so I just like never watched it. I had no idea what was going on in the story. I was just like, oh, it's on, but I don't care, so I didn't finish it.
Definitely watching it in dub.
Yeah, coming around the second time around, and me actually focusing in on it for this show. I still honestly don't fully know what my opinion on it is. Like the first episode I did enjoy, because the concept was pretty interesting. Even though I feel like they didn't really necessarily give an explanation to like how all that was happening. Like there was no like, oh, like
a meteor fell and he gained powers.
Right, nothing. Like
You
he was like, yeah, so here's this picture. We're going in the past. Don't change anything. Have fun. Like,
yeah.
He was just rolling with it. But I mean the way the story went, seeing Emma's life and what she was dealing with at the time, like that was I think it was pretty solidly written there.
We're gonna get those inconsistencies that every episode had.
Yeah.
So with the episodes, it feels like, especially episode 1 and 2, it seems like you get a beginning, middle, and end, and then you go on to like a new mission or whatever. But like I said, then 3 and so on continues past that. But I thought that I agree with you. I'm glad that I didn't watch it on like a week-to-week basis, because I think this is similar to like Home Hero. Like it's definitely better watching through, because they don't give you a whole lot of explanation in 1 and 2. Actually, if I recall, I don't think they ever give you an explanation on how they have the abilities that they have, even after the season ends. So you could tell, but the way it ends, you could tell that there's going to be a season 2. But I like the Chinese animation. Just a heads up, because we said it was a Chinese anime. A lot of people do not like or not used to Chinese animation, because it is different than Japanese animation. The art style is different, and it is pretty classic to Chinese dongu. It's similar to like Hitori no Shita, The Outcast, and stuff. So if you're thinking you're going to get the daily life of the Immortal King type animation, that's not what you're getting. You're getting very typical stuff. I watched it in dub, and actually I watched it originally in Chinese. And me personally, the Chinese language, they speak it a lot faster than Japanese. So if I can't find it on a streaming site where I can slow down the speed, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a struggle. So when I rewatched the first 3 episodes a few days ago, I watched it in the dub, and I think they have a pretty solid dub. A lot of the voice actors you'd recognize. They sound recognizable.
The dub was faster than the sub. Like, I guess they was talking, you would get a scene from the last scene still in the sub, so couldn't catch up. I don't know. That's what it was. But episode 1, so I'm gonna try and keep it probably straight and narrow, because you're gonna get confused. Episode 2. So episode 1, they basic job. So just like it's basically just espionage. They think this corporation is doing pretty much like money laundering and stuff like that, faulty funds and things like that, and they all go through this one girl who is the assistant to the boss, and everything's encrypted. You got his everything on the hard drive, everything on the flash drive, computer encrypted, phone encrypted, like that. And you only got one chance to do it, so the brothers take the job. Well, the friends take the job. So they take the job, and Chen possesses Emma, and first goes into a little situation where like sexual advances is going on, and just like to do all this, he's just like, just go with it, you'll be okay. And then the boss is kind of forcing himself on her, and he about to have to kiss him, and then her phone rings and it's her parents. So they call her, just like, why are you working so late? Yada yada yada. Are you eating right? Normal warrior parents, stuff like that. So she's eating these soggy ass spring rolls, and the boss is doing it, and just like, oh, make sure you take out the trash, finish the work, and get ready for tomorrow's meeting. This big meeting tomorrow. So apparently, and Lou's like, finish the work. That's what you gotta do. So I don't know how that's the confusing part. It's like,
how did he know how to finish the work?
Some episodes the people keep their consciousness, sort of, and some episodes.
So to clarify, because I think you may confuse the viewers, he's not possessing the current person. He's possessing the version of the person in the photo, which is technically the past. So he speaks with these when he has the photo, he gains somewhat of the consciousness. I believe he still has the same skills to a degree. So like if he was told to make a portfolio, he would have the sense to be able to do that, but he has to be told by Lou in what way things were done, the events of everything. So that's why they have to stay in communication, because he's telling them, okay, you have to finish this, because she finishes the work. It follows the timeline. So anything that gets changed will obviously change the present. So that is why it may seem like a little bit of inconsistency, just because I don't think they fully explain it, I guess, the way that it should be explained. But you realize it later on, I think. Or maybe I just did deductive reasoning and came with that, but
so one of the rules they have, you got 12 hours to finish the job. No more, no less. And can't do anything to affect the past. So he takes out the trash, goes home, goes to bed, and she, being him, gets a text message, and Lou's like, don't answer that. You want to keep the timeline just how it was. And he's compelled to just look at it. So he has like a sleepless night, and then apparently they're connected mentally, so they both have like a sleepless night talking to each other. So he looks at it as a text message from the parents. So we'll skip that part because it's important towards the end. So they go into the morning. She's fixing, I guess, the meeting room for everybody. So some reason, just everybody's meeting up. So apparently the boss's wife comes in, just like, oh, who this mistress you have, and who is this? Is this her right here? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, honey, you need to leave, and it's okay. So Lou's like, you gotta let her slap you. Like, I kind of didn't sign up for that. So keep going, just keep calm, just let her slap you a little bit. So the wife slaps her about 2 times, and she knocks the computer over, and then seeing all the files. That was the only way to see the files, memorize it. So they're linked mentally. So whatever the files he gets, Lou can see on his side. And pretty much mission complete for that part. He gets the files, all is well and good. So what was the end part was when she wasn't supposed to look at the text message, she looked at it, and it was her mom. He texts back the parents, say how they missed him and all that other stuff, and it's kind of prevalent on his past and where his parents just vanished. So we just don't know. So he felt compelled through his own emotions to text the parents, and then the parents come into town, give her new blankets, new food, all the other stuff, and then immediately just leave. So she's chasing him. He already left the body at this point. So she's chasing the parents down, like, don't leave, all that other stuff. And then, well, she runs into a little SVU situation, but
yeah.
Call Olivia Benson real quick.
we can't. I don't think we can spoil the end part of that because it's weighing on Lou's consciousness to see what happened on the news, knowing one, they completed the mission and money laundering and all that other stuff, and then two was the second story, what happened with Emma. So you have to watch it to figure that out. So I think it was a perfect first episode.
It was.
I actually agree.
I agree.
Good first episode to sink you in, to keep watching. And all not gonna be perfect.
I liked it because you, just like I said before, it felt like, okay, cool, mission complete, and then you think you know kind of what the show's gonna be about, and then that ending, and you're like, wait, what is this show about? Like, what? So I did like that. Just like you said, him changing, he can't change anything, and even something as small as him looking at the phone or responding to a text message gets a response from the parents, which can eventually change and stuff, because the girl is estranged from her parents. Basically, they love her and they're constantly checking on her, and she's just kind of pushing them to the side, trying to live her life, doing the whole struggling young adult thing that we've all been through. And because of that, it sets up this dynamic for what continues throughout the episode. And we're definitely going to see later on down the line. But I think that was setting something up. It was setting up something bigger. And I don't know. I really loved the first episode, though. It definitely made me want to come back and see what was going to happen with that.
Right. They accomplished that.
Unfortunately, they kind of pivoted for episode 2, but it was necessary because I think what they're trying to do is show just all the different types of missions that they do, but also how something little can change something big. And I think that's why episode 2 was a little bit different than 1.
Yeah, Chen definitely changed the future.
Definitely changed the future.
Yeah, it's like the butterfly effect. You know, one small thing here, one light ripple here can cause a huge wave over there. So I mean, they definitely showcased that. They established, like, who the characters were pretty well. You get an understanding of how they were, how they operated. You get a good feel for exactly what type of show you get, like, because they set the tone, making it, you think it's like a lighter show at the beginning, and then it takes a darker tone, so you can see, this nice spectrum of how the show can be. I did enjoy the animation. But I mean, I've seen animation like that before, so I'm more accepting of it. So I think they did a pretty solid job with how it was animated. The art is very distinct. I can't really say this looks like anything else out there specifically. I mean, so like overall, the aesthetic of it, the tone of it, and the writing of that first episode was pretty high tier. I think the only issue is just the fact that they didn't give enough explanation as to what's going on in the world. So that's like the only mark against it. But if we're going over to rating the episode, it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, it's good not leaving out some critical details, but it is the first episode. You don't really need that much. They summed it up for the most part. So I give it the same score. I mean, guys playing out all the powers work. They pretty much summed it up for the most part to keep you watching.
I'd give it a 5 just because I expect to not get all of the information on the first episode. So that doesn't surprise me that we don't fully know like how they have the powers and stuff. So I would give it a 5 for that. And also just the intro and the ending songs and visuals are really good for this.
Yeah, the Titan animation was definitely fire. I didn't love the song as much, but the animation that they have for it, I definitely enjoyed.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Oh, also, I just wanted to mention, so these two characters, they're dynamic. They're like best friends, but they're also total opposites when it comes to how they do things. Ching, the guy that is able to possess these people in the photo, is very much like he's a wild card. And he's he's an emotional being. He's a wild card. He likes to joke around and play around and have fun and doesn't always follow the rules. And Lou is the complete opposite of that. So you're going to see why this guy just cannot follow directions.
At all. That's very prevalent in the third episode.
Yeah, just cannot follow directions.
But all right, so the second episode this week is going to get a little slowed down. It's a wholesome episode, I suppose. So they get another job. So this businesswoman wants them to go 10 years into the past to find a secret ingredient to the ramen her and her partner created. And she cannot find the ingredient that her partner makes the ramen. So the person that came into it was the business aspect of it. She got everything down pat, just like how we're going to expand, how we're going to market ourselves, how we're going to make this an actual chain. And the partner that left is the actual cook. She just wants to cook, and they had one shot, and that's all she wanted. She wanted one shot, the beauty of cooking. That's all she wants. But I'm not gonna say the person that came into it was money hungry. She just wanted to prosper in life. So there's nothing wrong with that. So they're basically, the funny thing about it, at the end of the episode, you don't know they're from the same hometown. I know they went to college together, but they didn't say they were like from the same hometown.
No, they don't.
Or that was the girl that came to the job hometown, and the partner that went back to that hometown.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get into it. So come up with a job, find a secret ingredient. They give them like 10 different pictures to go far. So now I didn't know they could jump between pictures. You could jump in, if you don't find anything, you jump out back to the world and jump in another picture and watch, rinse, repeat.
Watch, rinse, repeat.
I thought they were just stuck in that one picture.
Mm-hmm. And they had that one instance to try to fix it.
But you can jump in, jump back out, and then jump in another picture, and then keep doing it. So I was like,
but you still have the 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 12 hours is irrelevant if I could just be like, oh, well, nothing here. So they went through multiple parts. It's just
no, but you still only have 12 hours regardless of going in and out of pills, because he only has the power to see it. After 12 hours, he can't go into a picture involving that anymore. Okay. Involving like the mission itself. So it can be 6 different pictures, but he only has 12 hours to go through all of them.
Yeah.
Just one picture where they find the ingredient, but a delivery person came and they have to answer the delivery person. Like, you got to answer this or they're not going to get their supplies in the next fucking future. So she ends up cooking and whatever. Then they don't get it. They a bunch of mixed opportunities for getting. It's always something came up before they could figure out what's the secret ingredient. And he's in the past was like eating ramen after ramen after ramen after ramen, just like trying to figure out what the secret ingredient is. And they can't figure it out. So they're just like, oh man, we're stuck. Just this mission might be a failure. So so the last scene was them taking a picture in front of the original storefront, and they say they're going to take a picture in front of the original storefront every year for progress. Like, this is what we come up to. And then she said, "That's when I'm leaving. You just gotta leave. You gotta not look back. You gotta keep going. You gotta follow the story through." So she's trying to figure out where she's gonna go or how they're gonna get this secret ingredient to figure out what it is. So I forgot how they found out the secret ingredient, because it wasn't the last picture.
Technically, they don't figure it out. What happens is they have a conversation because actually they're able to switch in between people. It all depends on who takes the photo.
Yeah.
So the person that hired it they were also able to get into the other person's body that actually has the recipe. And when they are talking, she says something about like, you know the ingredient, or you know where it would be, or something like that, and then it clicks for the real person, and that's when she figures out that it's an herb from her hometown.
Yeah, so the last picture they dropped out of the envelope once the mission was done, and is back in her college dorm room where she brings the secret ingredient the whole time.
Mhm.
But she was all business woman and gung ho. I guess she forgot herself or lost herself in a way. So I guess the partner was just giving her a hard ass time, just like, you lost yourself, you forgot what we originally did this for. You're just doing it for the money now. You're not doing this for the art, passion of the cooking. And I'm just gonna let you dwell in your own success or not success you had, because you don't have this ingredient that you originally presented to me from your own hometown.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? So they go into the last picture the last time, and just like, they kind of changed the script a little bit. It's like, well, I could do the money marketing, I could do the apps, I could do all this stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, never mind, don't worry about it. And just like, almost changing the future again.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the wholesome episode, and then her 10-year future self goes back to her hometown and finds a partner cooking there, and she's crying hysterically and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. It was just one of those wholesome episodes that she lost herself, so she needed to find herself via what she brought to the table in the first place. So, if you're looking for action or anything like that, you're not getting this in the second episode.
They gave me lovers more than friends.
Yeah,
I was like,
honestly.
please tell me that like she's about to confess her love to this one or something, because what I was like, what is happening? I'm gonna be honest, I get disappointed when they give off those vibes and then they don't
Follow through.
Right. I'm just like, okay, but Chinese animation is good for teasing you because of the censorship there, so you have to kind of
Infer.
yeah. So I think maybe that's what they were like, maybe that they'll end up together or something. I don't know. Or that one of them does truly love the other. But the episode was like, it definitely pivoted and it went in a weird direction. It just was really chill, like almost too chill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're still kind of the whole episode, you're like, well, how does this tie into what happened at the end of episode 1? And so I think that's why we dislike episode 2 so much, because it's like, oh, we're gonna drop this bomb, and then we're not only gonna not tell you what's going on, but we're gonna give you some completely weird side story that doesn't seem like it fits. But as I said before, I just think that they did that so you can see how like little things that he changes, and I think they used it so we could see that more about the power. Like in that episode, we were able to see that he could jump in and out of the photos, or that he could possess more than one person and stuff like that. So I think that was really the purpose of it. But it definitely slowed down the anime which is unfortunate because the anime is already somewhat slower. It's definitely a slow burn. It's one of those shows, just like I said, Durara. Like, I love some episodes, and then other episodes I'm like, can something happen now? Can something happen now?
Man, that's how I feel about Cowboy Bebop.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that's how I
Right,
felt
that's
about Cowboy Bebop too. Oh my gosh. I still got 3 episodes left from Cowboy Bebop, because every time I go back, I'm like,
The last episode is the best episode. So
I've heard. One day I'll get back to it. When I finally catch up to Wano in One Piece, then I will go watch something else.
the journey.
Hey, well, I'm in Whole Cake, so.
What y'all give episode 2?
Honestly, I'm probably giving it a 2, just because like, if this episode was before the first episode, I might rate it higher. But you can't give me a bombshell like you give me at the end of that first one and not explain it and then expect me to be happy about it. So like it wasn't terrible, and I did enjoy the relationship that they built between the businesswoman and her friend. You get to see more of the well, not brothers, but the partners and how they work off of each other. So that I appreciated, but you can't do that. Like you got to give me something from that, and I'm hoping. I'm honestly watching to hope that we get more of what happened with Emma's storyline in the show.
Shit, we can't give away what happened to Emma.
Mm.
Yeah. I would probably give it a. I want to say 3 because, like I said, I did like the story. I was hoping for a love connection, but it is what it is. I liked that they showed us more of the powers, just like Otis said, the connection between the friends and all of that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with the 3.
I might give it a 2. I fell asleep on it multiple times. It's just like,
bruh, like it took me 3 tries to finish that episode. Like,
wow.
And again, the first time around watching it, like I didn't even like see it. Like it was on, and I ended up getting on my phone and was like, "Oh, the episode's over." Like, yeah,
sleep is for the weak. But I exude weakness in that one. But so the third episode, which I'm not gonna say it's convoluted, but this is when the rules were actually broken. So Architect was acting like a stalker of some sorts and kind of following the landlady that actually gives them the missions and stuff like that around. And he's like, I don't mean no harm. I just want to know if the rumors are true that you grant wishes or you're a witch or something like that. Like, no, I'm not a witch, but I can service you in a way that you give you what you want. And so he gives them a picture of a basketball team, and he was always the bench warmer. And he'll say, I'll never forget this day. And some things were not said, and some things needed to be said. So they take the mission and possess the guy, and he's pretty much like, I don't know the fuck. This is probably one of the worst basketball courts I've ever seen in my life. It's just like a mechanic school.
It was like an old like an abandoned building or something. It was like an old community center or something. It was tragic. It was like great example. Space Jam, when they first go to the court before they clean it up, it looked like that. It was horrible.
It was like broken down cars all over the place. The hoops and had nets. I don't know how they got these referees. I'm like, all right, whatever. So they're like, if we win this one game, we go to like state or some shit. I'm just like, how? But whatever. They just building the storyline. So Captain's real gun ho about teamwork and all this other shit. So, and these niggas, and it came from the other school. They look like crook-nose basketball type views, and just like. So Chen, he's just like, well, Lu tells Chen, just sit out, just sit down, watch the game, and we'll be fine. Take the pictures and all that other stuff, because the guy's a photographer back then. And the captain's like, I trust you, we need you, just in case something happens, you're gonna go out on the court. So they're getting blown out for right now. And Chen starts taking pictures, but he's not a photographer, so he leaves the flash on. So it blinds the captain. It leaves an opening for the other guy to like knock knees with him, and then just injured him.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn near blew his knee out.
So he's limping over. He's like, "You're up." So Chen apparently is a street ball legend. He just like possesses. That's why I said possessed, because he possesses dude's body, and it's like he turns from I don't know. He turns from the bummest player you ever seen to just like he turns into Mike. Yeah. He turns into flu game Mike and just like doing all this extra shit, and I'm just like, all right, well, about to see how this goes. And he's having all these basketball fantasies. It's just like, this is what I really wanted to do. And he met Lou on the court. That's how they became best friends and all that other stuff. And it's like, Lou's keep telling him repeatedly, you have to lose this game. Follow the timeline. Do all that bullshit you want to do. So the captain does get back in eventually. Sits down. And, like, I'll finish it. He completely blows me out at that point. I think it's just like competitive desire, just like I need to win the game. And it didn't leave off the best cliffhanger. I think the cliffhanger should have been like the ball roll around the rim and then it just stops. At the end of the day, the ball went in, they win the game, then the episode stops. So it stops at a cliffhanger. One, they fucking stopped. Two, Chen was selfish and did what he did. Three, you don't know what will happen if they do break the rules and change time. But due to the fact we only watching 3 episodes, I didn't.
What'd you say?
I didn't watch episode 4. I'm compelled to watch it, but
I watched it.
Give episode 2. So I'm just like, do I really want to keep watching this?
You have to. You literally have to. Episode 3, like they haven't even gotten anywhere near like what the whole mission is about, which is things need to be said. He hasn't gotten to that. You got to know what's gonna happen next.
But do I want to? That's the
You
issue.
do. I think you do.
Episode 3 ended in a way that you will want
He was like, I don't know if you want to. How far did you watch? Did you end up watching the whole thing?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched up to episode 5 so far.
Okay, because see, 5 is really where 5 is when it starts to get crazy, when you realize like the main connection, especially between this particular mission and this character and stuff, ends up tying into the main characters' lives. Yeah. So then you're gonna find out that there's a connection, which makes it crazier. So you just gotta stick with it. But episode 3, like I said, Chen just can't follow directions, but it was cool, like watching him ball and stuff, because I was like, oh, okay, look at you.
Yeah, some
he did.
Definitely was
his
a personal basket nigga. So
yeah, he did his thing. So it was a fun episode, I would say. Like there was a lot of funny moments, and it was faster paced than probably both episode 1 and 2. It was a faster pace. The only thing is, and it ended with, him doing what he wasn't supposed to do and winning the game. So I think it did a good job of setting up what's to come, but I'm not 100% sure if you follow the 3 episode rule, did episode 3 and 1 do enough to make you want to keep watching it? I think if it was like 4th episode, then I'd be like, yeah, you'd probably most likely stick with it until the end.
I'm gonna watch 4 today. It didn't completely turn me off. You gotta have somebody with a slow episode. I get that. I'm not completely ignorant, but I wish they cut off episode 3 maybe like 3 seconds earlier. Like, did the ball really go in or not? Like,
I think that would have been more.
Yeah, that would have been more.
The
effective.
ball going in, you have to watch it now to be like, oh, they really fucked up the timeline. To just you get to see what happened, but it not going in, leave you in suspense and be like, well, did it go in? Did it not go in? And then you pick it up from there. I don't know if it raises the anticipation or not, but
it would have. It was almost like they were setting up for it, because they like look at him and it's clear that he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to just give it up. And then he throws it, and then you're like, oh, okay, he's not gonna make it. And then he makes it. And so if they just would have ended it right then, you would have been like, oh man. So they lost. Now what? Like, what's next? But I think that I still think that it's actually, you know what? No, I take that back. I think it's better that we now know that they made it, because we know that that's bad.
Right.
So now you want to know, okay, what are the repercussions of this?
right.
So I actually think it's I think it's better that they did that instead of leaving it, because if we went based off of the 3 episode rule and they didn't tell us, I would be like, okay, well, I already know he's gonna miss it. So okay.
And honestly, I feel like that would have set up episode 4 so much crazier, because it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna miss it. Like you're thinking in your typical anime watcher brain, and then you go to 4 and like, oh no, he made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, like, so I mean,
it can go either way depending on how you watch it.
Yeah, I can understand the argument for either way. But this 3rd episode, I mean, it tapped into my own bias. I am a basketball fanatic, so I mean, them deciding to play a basketball game definitely appealed to me. The episode itself, I don't think it was a bad episode. Like, I mean, like you get to see exactly just how much Shin doesn't listen. You get to see a little bit more of their backstory, knowing who they are as characters, and that's something I always appreciate, getting more character development for your main cast. Overall, honestly, I think this was a pretty solid episode. If I had to score it, I'm probably giving this one a 3.5.
I give it a 4. I mean, it was
I'd
solid.
give it a 4.
It was solid.
I'd give it a 4.
Very a soft 4, a curved 4, because of the ending. Just like, all right, now you want to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll grade on a curve. It's not that bad. But that was it. Link click. So Ashley, every movie seen it all. So I mean, she's well ahead of it. There's more powers. There's more suspense. There's more story. But
if you had to rate season 1, just out of curiosity, what would you give it?
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
I would rate it as a 4, honestly, because it's really gonna turn up. Like I said, I don't know if it's episode 5 or if it's 6, but it's gonna get actually the way it ended, if it probably made just a little bit more sense, it could have been a 5 for me, but it's definitely a 4, because the way it ends, like, it is going to turn up a notch and it's going to turn into a different show. That's what's going to happen. So I'm just going to give y'all that heads up. It is going to turn into a different show. It's going to get crazy. And you're going to see why that there's going to be a season 2. It earned its score.
If you stay away through episode 2, I think it's worth it. Keep on watching.
Yeah, I mean, the way the episode 3 ends, like it almost forces you to watch 4. So by that standard, I mean, if you got to 3, then yeah, you're probably gonna go ahead and continue it at least. I did. I made it to 5, and I didn't expect that, because the first time I watched it, I dropped it. I didn't.
2 is the slowest. 2 is the slowest episode, and it is the most. It seems to be the most irrelevant episode. You will not have an episode from now on until the end of the show that is that slow or that disconnected from the overall story.
Well, if you get past that, I guess you're in for a treat. So, well. all right, I'm gonna watch for it.
I really want you to. I really want you to watch the whole thing, and then, like on one of our other shows, just legitimately say, "Okay, I watched it, and I was right. I should have stopped it," or just be like, "You know what? I kind of see why you kept watching it." Because I really want you to see because you have a tendency to stop watching a show completely, and then you don't understand why I liked the show. So I feel like you should finish it. It's only like, how many episodes? It's like 6.
13.
I mean, no, like 8. Oh, whatever.
I think it's 13.
It may be 13.
Yeah,
or 12, something like that.
I know it's in the teens. It's somewhere around there. I did not see how many episodes there were, but I do plan on finishing it.
It's 11.
Oh, it's 11.
Yeah, it's 11 episodes. And as you can see, watch.
I keep watching nonetheless, but we're gonna wrap this up. But the next show, because it's coming back, so it's coming back with Bleach randomly. So we're gonna watch Burn the Witch. Which only had,
yes.
but it is
Yes.
I've actually never seen
Yes.
Burn the Witch.
so Burn the Witch
Yes.
has 3 episodes. It initially came out with 3 episodes. Now it's coming back in July, I think, when Bleach.
I did not know that. You
Finishes
just
their,
blew my mind.
When Bleach continues the 1,000-year blood war, they're gonna have Burn the Witch with that. I mean, it's not that the universes aren't connected, but I'm just saying it's premiering with Bleach when Bleach comes back. So you're gonna get Jujutsu Kaisen when it comes back, then Bleach, then Burn the Witch. And Burn the Witch manga's up there, so I mean, I don't know why they only came out 3 episodes. But
Lelouch's like blown.
Yes.
Burn
Yeah.
the Witch, we're gonna do
I've
that.
never watched it. It's on my watch list though.
Hey, it's only 3 episodes, so perfect for this show.
No pun intended, fire. So yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching that for the next week's show.
I
Yeah.
gotta remember it for myself. I did watch all 3 episodes when it did initially come out, and then it was just like, oh, okay. And then apparently it's gonna finish out. So I guess Ebony Moonbeam, what did you have something cooking? Did you cook up something for Black Friday or no?
I did do some stuff due to I had a death in the family. So this weekend has been crazy. I had a funeral and all types of stuff. So I've just been exhausted, and then Mother's Day and stuff. So I didn't drop anything. But so probably on Monday, at the latest Tuesday, I'll be dropping like my videos and my photos on everywhere that I'm at. And then because I actually have 2 different completely different looks, so just follow that for about a week or so, and then I will be at Bold Matsuri Con here in Jacksonville, and so I'm going to be cosplaying the whole weekend, so I will have more cosplay stuff as well. And Waifu Views is going to come back next Sunday, and obviously it's Mother's Day, so we had to be with our moms, but we're going to do some fun stuff. It may be a continuation of Black Friday just to close it out, but we're going to see. But yeah, follow me at Ebony_Moonbeam or Ebony_Moonbeam cosplay on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, the works.
And like Luch, what you all got cooking up on
So we did get in touch with Jasmine Tucker, the originator for Black Friday. So we're gonna schedule an interview for her relatively soon. And just check out blurred.com. We're going to be running regular updates to have a definitive story of what each podcast that is connected to blurred.com is. The first articles are going to be releasing for what it sounds like in Blurred Cartel Roundtable. Be tuning in for those. I think you guys will enjoy the showcase of how we talk about the shows, and we're going to use that to connect it to other articles going forward. So, definitely keep an eye out for that.
Man, Roundtable this Wednesday is going to be best cartoon theme song. 32 shows. We're going to figure out which one is the ultimate winner. I'm just saying, some of the shows I picked got hoed. So, I mean, it's fine as long as.
Why do I feel like we did that before?
We
was
haven't
it?
done it. It might have been what it sounded like. We're do something similar, but we're actually going to listen to songs, and we got 32 different shows. So I mean, just to give out some of the shows, Proud Family's up there, Johnny Bravo, Tiny Toons,
Teen Titans Go,
Animaniacs, Transformers. I might take out Transformers.
No, Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom, man, that's S tier.
Cool Boss, Hey Arnold, Samurai Jack. So I don't know. I might take out Transformers. I might do a little edit. Transformers kind of ass theme song. I don't know. I'm just saying. But check us out: Blur Cartel, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Monday we might do something. we got a whole different thing going on with others. But definitely Wednesday 8 roundtable. I'm told Fairly Odd Parents is going to win the whole thing.
Really?
It's up there, but it's not gonna win.
Oh, I'm told. I got Kim Possible as my dark horse.
It's like
Yeah,
Kim
Kim
Possible
Possible.
could sneak in, and
I was about to
take
say
it.
that's higher for me.
I mean, Proud Family though, like
But who's being DuckTales really?
DuckTales
Ooh.
is tough. That
Who's
is tough.
who's beating X-Men? Who's beating Scooby Doo?
I liked Animaniacs too.
I think that's gonna be out in the first round. Tell you the truth.
What?
Really?
I think that's out in the first round. But
Man, I still know that song word for word.
every Moonbeam's gonna be on there.
am.
Maybe Late Lucia's gonna be on there. We got time. He's a
I should
busy
be
man.
off, so yeah, I'll do my best to be on there. I'll do my best to be on there.
He's a busy man. We're all busy people, but everybody enjoy themselves. We're out of here.
Yeah. Again, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.